here with just a quick video. I just got back from my podiatrist, and I got referred to this podiatrist because for the last few months I have been battling this pain on my left foot. It literally felt or feels like I'm walking on a marble, and each time I step, it's like you're stepping on a marble or you're stepping on a Lego. I'm sure you're probably familiar. If you've ever stepped on a Lego, you know how painful that is. So I didn't know what it was. I just knew that some part of my foot was inflamed. So I went to my doctor and explained to her what was going on, and I got referred to a podiatrist. So apparently I have something called Morton's neuroma. So apparently, well, on your foot you've got 5 metatarsals, and apparently the third one on my left foot has dropped quite a bit. So whenever I walk, I basically am walking on that one bone, and it's really inflamed. So that's where most of the pain is coming from. So I'm from basically stepping on that bone all the time. Now, over the last few weeks, in order to kind of alleviate some of the pain, I've been kind of leaning on my foot, more on the side of my foot. But of course, what that has done is it's started to aggravate my knee. So when I went there to the podiatrist a little while ago, they did a bunch of x-rays. They kind of poked around in my foot for the first few minutes to find out exactly where I was talking about. And when they realized, they found the spot, I was sent to have some x-rays done. And then when I came back, they explained to me what was going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post some information about exactly what Morton's neuroma is, so that I don't have to get into all of these details. But over the last few months, this has progressively gotten worse. I noticed that there were times when it had gotten better, almost like it wasn't there. But whenever I would press, I would feel that pain, and I knew that the inflammation was still there. And I think it had a lot to do with things that I was eating at the time. I tried to do an anti-inflammatory diet, so it keeps inflammation down in my body, but for some reason, this particular spot on my foot just never seems to go away. And I just kind of got really desperate, and I said, "No, something needs to be done, because your feet carries the brunt of your weight. So if you're constantly in pain when you're walking, it can get kind of be a downer." So I finally, managed to go and see the podiatrist, and he explained to me everything that was happening. And after he got the results for the x-rays, he explained to me what was happening, and said, there were a few options. And one of them I already found, which was, the types of shoes that you wear just it does make a huge deal. But I'm not sure why I developed this, because I do tend to wear proper shoes. I try to wear proper shoes, but I do occasionally wear sandals, and I love my sandals. We live in Florida. If you can't wear sandals or flip-flops, hey, I don't wear flip-flops though, but the sandals are flat. They really don't have that much support. And I notice that it does get worse whenever I'm walking bare feet as well, especially if I'm walking on tile. If I'm walking bare feet outside, it doesn't hurt so bad because I'm walking usually on grass. But walking on tile bare feet can be really painful. So because everything I was using didn't really seem to work, the massaging that spot is quite painful, and it does alleviate it a little bit. But another option that they gave me was to have a cortisone shot. So desperate times calls for desperate measures, right? So I got the first cortisone shot. Yes, I did. Well, the doctor walks in, And he's got this, thing kind of tucked into his pocket, and he's got a few other, like some gauze and something that looks like a spray. And he said, well, what we're going to do here is I'm going to clean the top of your foot really well. And I'm there thinking, well, the pain's not at the top of my foot, the pain's at the bottom. That's where the problem is. But I just let him continue. So he said, well, I'm going to clean the top of your foot and use this stuff. And then I'm going to spray it really well with this spray that I have in my hand. And then what you're going to feel is a stick and a burn. I'm like, okay. So he basically, it happened really quickly. It was very quick. And I think he did it deliberately, fast. I actually felt it at the very end, I guess because all of the medicine was pushed in so quickly and it kind of built up really quickly. But what he did was he just took the gauze and cleaned off the top of my foot really well. And he explained to me what he was gonna do. While he was working at the top of my foot, he actually had his fingers positioned right where the nodule was at the bottom. So when after he'd finished cleaning it off, the spray that he put on there was actually like a numbing solution. So he sprayed that on after cleaning the top of my foot, right, and it was actually located right in between the third and the fourth metatarsal. So right underneath it was where the nodule was, and he could actually feel that by whenever he put the needle through. So after spraying, he immediately pushed that needle in, kind of worked it around a couple times, but I really didn't feel anything. And then once he found the proper location of the neuroma, he quickly inserted the medicine. And he just basically said, now stay with me and just breathe really deeply. But it was literally from the stick to the pumping of the medicine was maybe 5 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. And what I felt was actually at the very end when, because he pushed the medicine in so quickly, it built up really quickly. But it wasn't really painful. There was some discomfort, but it wasn't really painful. And then quickly pulled the needle out, and I was like, ooh. And I really didn't have time to wince, to cry, or anything, but it just happened really quickly. So right now, what I'm feeling in my foot is just a little bit of tingling, and I think because it's kind of wearing off, but so it's most of it is quite numb, and I can move my toes around right now, but that particular spot where the neuroma is, it's not really painful right now. I've actually tried to walk on it, and I really don't feel it. So I have another follow-up appointment next week to see how the cortisone shot worked. And in the meantime, I'm going to be doing like massage therapy. I'm going to look for this particular tape that they said you can use to wrap your foot to see how that helps in conjunction with the massaging and this particular cortisone shot that I just received. And I'm going to see how improved it is over the next week before I go in for the follow-up appointment, because I'm trying to avoid another cortisone shot. Today I was a little desperate, so I went ahead and I did that. But I definitely want to avoid surgery, because surgery is going to be the next option if the cortisone shot doesn't work. And I think they do 3 cortisone shots before they make a decision about surgery, because I'm trying to avoid having a surgery done. Because what he also noticed is that my right foot also has it, but I think I've just been kind of um, trying to accommodate my left foot by leaning on the side. So my knee is actually what's developing the problem. So I'm trying to avoid having any more joint issues right now, because it's just, just too much stuff going on. I did ask him if this had anything to do with arthritis or with trigger finger, if it's any of that stuff is connected, because I do have trigger fingers, I should say. Right now it's actually not too bad, but he said that there really isn't a connection. But I'm trying to avoid surgery, and I'm trying to avoid any more cortisone shots. So I'm going to take a couple images of where I actually received the shot so you can see, but it really wasn't that bad. So I'm getting a little bit of relief right now. So hopefully that will continue over the next week to avoid another shot and to avoid any other kind of, you know, surgical intervention. So I will let you all know how that goes. And in the meantime, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you've had any kind of experience with Morton's neuroma, feel free to comment below. If you have any kind of remedies that you think might help me out, if you've tried anything that I did not mention in this video, please comment below and let me know what worked for you, what did not work, that sort of thing. So I am back at my podiatrist's office, and I'm going to be getting my foot checked again today for that neuroma on the bottom. Last week I got a cortisone shot, and this week I probably will again, because it really was helpful. As much as I hate getting shots and hate getting any kind of using any kind of pharmaceuticals, this one really did help. So I will let you guys in on it whenever I'm actually getting the shot. Talk to you later.
Cold spray.
Yep.
Little stick. Right in the bursal sac. We're all done. Be good. Bullseye.
If you're new to this channel, I talk about different things. My experience with chronic illness. I also talk about gardening. I'm also a homeschooling mom. So there's a lot of different things that I talk about on my channel. So if you're not yet a subscriber, I'd appreciate it if you just click that red subscribe button. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again on the next video. So stay tuned, click that notification symbol so you know when I upload my next video. It's one of them will definitely be an update on this cortisone shot, but I could also be talking about how my garden recovered over the winter and that sort of thing. So thank you for being here. See you next time.